This has so much working against it. Okay. So, like, award shows in general just suck, and viewership is declining. And, like, I want this to do good because Cutie puts in a lot of work for events, but, like, there's just so much working against this. Like, either streamers take it seriously and it is just kind of boring like all award shows, or they act like clowns like they normally do on their streams to be funny, but then it's just kind of meaningless and pointless and just like a excuse to like circle jerk over your friends. I hope it does good, but I just don't see how this can possibly turn out well.
Oh my god! Oh!
No!
That looks so gross.
I dropped it. Oh, it survived in the bag.
Why? So stuff like this really makes me wish that everything I see on Twitch is just like staged for content. Like, it's one thing eating food out of a takeout container that's in the trash, but to drop it back into the trash and still eat it, like, if you want to eat leftovers, just put it in the fridge for the next day. Like, letting it get all hot and gross in a garbage bag is just nasty.
I think I can get a boyfriend in 2022.
Why? Every year you ask it like that. Why?
Do you think that I can get it?
No.
Why?
Your face.
What's wrong with my face?
Already. Your heart. No good. But your father is very nice. Go away.
So this is probably for content, but that's still brutal. Like, it's one thing to make fun of your kid's appearance, but just to say like you're just a bad person overall, like you have a bad heart, that's just taking it to the next level. That's rough. In another weird turn of events, it looks like Pokimane and Mustard made up. So Pokimane has a history of doing this where she gets in beef with other people and then they end up squashing the beef shortly after, which is good. It shows maturity that you can get along with people you had like a tiff with. This just goes to show how stupid Ninja is. So Ninja got dragged into this drama. Instead of just trying to like distance himself from it, he doubled down and said some stupid stuff and doubled down again and said some more stupid stuff. And then his manager slash wife like tripled down and started threatening to sue people for defamation. And like, whenever you threaten to sue someone, it just makes you look like a joke. So that's just like bad, especially online, to do in the first place, especially over like online drama. And what results is Ninja takes the biggest L out of everyone involved in the drama, even though he's just kind of like off to the side doing his own thing. Everyone else is made up and Ninja's still there looking like a fool. Like, how can you mess up this badly where someone else's drama, they both come out of it like kind of okay? Like, Mustard got more clout out of it, so that's huge for him. And then there's Ninja just looking like a fool and getting nothing out of it.
More things happening. Boring.
If you let us in.
Shallow, you're about.
Yeah. Oh, finally I can play again. Woo!
That is definitely the Dying Light experience in 20 seconds. And to be fair to Dying Light, I still really like the game. It's a lot of fun. The combat's a lot of fun. Even like the main story isn't too bad. But just like so many side quests, like their biggest complaint of the first game was, oh, there's not enough story. And now they're doubled down. Like, we're already full on story, and like, oh, you said you want more story. Here's more, and just keeps jamming more and more story. Like, we get it. You can write mediocre stories. Stop. Like, the breaking point for me with story and like just skipping everything except the main quest was the 30 or 45 minutes I spent tracking down a bag of flour for some side characters I'm never going to interact with again. People harp on the story a lot. The biggest thing that I don't like about this game is co-op is less fun than playing by yourself. You have to stand around and wait for everybody so much, and they added like teleports and stuff. But it doesn't help. Like, if you're running to an objective and you see like a side quest marker, and you just want to like get that story so you have another thing to do right after, you have to get everybody else to stop running in one direction to go over there and to go to that quest just so you can listen to a story you don't care about, instead of just picking up the quest and keeping on going. That's not even getting to the fact where like they do the thing that most co-op games do, where if you're playing with 4 people, it just means monsters deal 4 times the amount of damage at 4 times the amount of health. So it's just like a slog to do anything by yourself. So if you like split off for even a minute, you're just there whacking and whacking and whacking at the same monster just to kill something that is completely worthless to you. It's a great, fun game that I like and I'm going to beat. But there's like so many things that they could fix that make it so much better. Like even just like you can mark things on the map, but just like a ping system. So when you're like, oh, go this way or follow me this way, just something quick that you can ping. Like that's like standard in multiplayer games now. Like,
how do we report the VOD? Like, can I leak out that you
were demoted to Iron Room 1 in ranked solo duo? That's brutal.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Like,
that literally doesn't count.
For the longest time, I didn't even realize that Iron Rank was a real thing. I thought it was just a joke that people made fun of like really bad players in Bronze. I've literally never heard of anyone being in Iron, so I had to look it up, and apparently like only 2% of the player base is in Iron. And to get that accomplishment on stream is just like chef's kiss. Especially for someone who like tries to be like, oh, I'm a god gamer all the time. Yikes.
I think again, like look at Josh OG. Look at Josh OG. Josh OG was the secretary, if I remember right, on the fucking CSGO Lotto thing. And this guy managed to fucking convince people that being the secretary is the same thing as Martha, who takes phone calls for an accounting office.
I don't know if it was only that. He also had one of the biggest streamers at the time, someone defending him. So like any criticism had someone like blocking it. Or, like anytime it were brought up in like someone's chat or anything, like it was completely deleted and he got banned. So it wasn't just that he was downplaying what a secretary was. He had big names supporting him.
He's the secretary on the fucking the Articles of Incorporation. And people believe this because they're fucking stupid. And guess what? Josh OG is getting sponsor deals. He's still a successful streamer.
Depends what you consider success. Like years ago, he was getting like what 3,000 or 4,000 viewers average, and now he's like averaging around 8. So it's still enough to live full time, but it's definitely a huge drop off.
He's doing fucking great. So there's actually a really good fucking use case of people that scam their audience. They pretend, oh, well, you know, and he had to deal with some shit for a few years. He did. People hated him, and they're going to call him Scam OG. And you know what happens? He bans him in his chat.
So you want another example of why creators can always just scam their fans and nothing ever happens? Take someone like Aiden Russ. He did a crypto pump and dump scheme on Twitter, promoted it, did all of this, and then as soon as he got paid out, he deleted all his tweets and acted like it never happened. He still gets called out from time to time, but then he's still invited to like all the big streamers, all of their like shows they put on, like OTK always invites Aiden Ross, even though he's a scammer. So it's kind of weird that Asmongold is calling out Josh OG for being like this horrible scammer, while his org is promoting a horrible scammer at the same time. And I guess like to be fair to Asmon, he doesn't really seem to be a part of like the whole show thing. Like that part of OTK, he seems to still just be doing his own thing, but like the rest of his org is promoting scammers.